Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is Friday, May 12th, and we are at the Polderbaan for departures. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Good afternoon, Koenie. Good afternoon, Roadhog, and good afternoon, Marius. It's a lovely day over here, 16 degrees centigrade, so that is approximately 62 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 16 degrees centigrade. There is a bit of wind. Wind is blowing from the northeast. At the moment there are parallel departures taking place. 36 left, 36 center. The airplanes taking off are facing some crosswind from the right. At the moment the sun is trying to get out. There are still a few clouds, and later in the afternoon they are saying that some rain showers are going to arise. First in the east of the country, but the wind is blowing from the east to the west, so it is likely that eventually rain showers are also going to come this way. We'll have to wait and see. Hey there Martin, goedemiddag. Gosse, goedemiddag. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Friday afternoon. Lining up on the threshold in the distance is KLM flight 603. It is a Dreamliner 787-10 outbound to Los Angeles LAX. The airplane we're about to see is 2 years old, had its first flight in December 2020. Hey Hanema, hey there Tina, good afternoon, hope you're well. Good to see you all again. Koenie informing us that there is a Silk 747 on the radar, getting pushed back. What's its destination, Koenie? I saw a 747 depart from center just now. As I was setting up. As you guys can see, the visibility is much better than it was during the last couple of streams. We can follow the airplanes quite a bit. The clouds that are there are higher up. Now there's about 11 knots of wind at the moment. You can see the ripples in the water. No foam on top, but it's definitely a bit windy. Now, the next plane to come this way is probably over there. An Embraer 190 outbound to Manchester. Hey, Ad, good afternoon. checking in from LAX. Well, the Dreamliner, we sent the Dreamliner on their way to you. And sound is broken. Okay, let me have a look. So the mic is having a green light on, and the receiver should also be working well. Has the sound improved? Is something different? I didn't change anything. I just checked everything and it seemed to be working in order. Everything on the DJI mic receiver seems to be working well. Okay, well, I didn't change anything. I have no idea what was causing it. Do keep me informed if something like this happens again. So there are a couple of planes underway. In the meantime, there's also something taking off in the distance. Let's see, there we go. 777. Is that Emirates Sky Cargo? Hey there, Jerry, checking in from the hot tub in Portland, Oregon. Morning to you. And Erin checking in from Teugen. Goedemiddag. How's the sun over there? Over here, as you guys can see, it is still somewhat cloudy, although it is just high clouds. This is to the north. This is the east. The south. This is the west. Hey, good morning, Evan. Good to see you again, friend. You prefer the arrivals? Well, the arrivals at the moment take place on the Kaagbaan, and it is a bit difficult to park over there during weekdays because there are a lot of people that park their car who work in that vicinity. There are only so many parking spots. It did cross my mind to go there, but unfortunately I didn't want to risk going there and not having a parking place and then having to relocate to the Polderbaan. Now at the moment this runway is just used for departures. Wind is blowing from the north. There's another Embraer 175 already lined up and is on the way already. no time to waste. Let's turn around back to the runway threshold because there's an A330 about to take off. Delta Airlines flight 163 outbound to Minneapolis. There we go. Delta Airlines flight 163 A330 300, 19 years old. Had its first flight in May 2004, this one. Thank you, Jerry, for that super chat and saying stay warm and dry in May. Well, warm, not so much yet. It is 16 degrees centigrade, so 62 degrees Fahrenheit approximately. But it is dry at least. I guess that's something. Okay, and Erin says that the clouds are already increasing over there in Teugen, more to the east of the country, or in the east of the country I should say. Hey there, Somil, good afternoon, good to see you again, hope you're doing well. And Evan, as I was saying, the Kaagbaan is where the landings take place at the moment, and it is, well, quite hellish to say it kindly. If you want to park there during weekdays, there are some industrial companies in the vicinity and there are just a few parking places over there. So if you try to go there on weekdays and find a parking place, it's very difficult to do so. You have to be in luck, and I didn't want to risk going there and finding no parking space and then having to relocate after that. But it did cross my mind to go to the Kaagbaan for arrivals. If the wind doesn't change and it's going to stay dry over the weekend, then I'm looking to go to the Kaagbaan for some arrivals close up. The infamous mosquito-ridden place where I was not too long ago. And thank you, Eva, for your super sticker, beaming face with smiling eyes. Hey there, Infinity, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, mate. We're awaiting the next airplane to arrive, which is going to be an A320neo from SAS outbound to Oslo. In the meantime, let me see if there are any ducks in the vicinity. Evan was already asking about them. I do see some quackers in the distance. Let me see. I think that's a duck, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, that's a duck. Now I only see one at the moment. Looking the other way. Don't see anything yet. Hey there, Paul, good afternoon. Lance, good afternoon. Good to see you all again. Hope you're all doing well. Hey there, Norbert. Good day. Okay, thanks for the feedback, Kuni. I don't know what it is because I'm not touching anything. I'm not changing anything. All the connections are the way they are. So I have no idea what is going on. It must be in the DJI mic itself then. me see if fiddling with the connection of the receiver into the switcher does something. Maybe I need to trying a new connection that goes from the receiver into the switcher. Maybe that does something. So lining up right now is SAS flight 822. It is an A320neo outbound to Oslo. It is a brand new airplane that had its first flight in February of this year. I can see that there is more traffic underway over here. An Embraer 190, also a 777. 737-800 as well. So at the moment we have some wind blowing from the northeast, sorry. So if you look in the distance, the chimney smoke is blowing towards us. And this is more or less a 45-degree angle towards versus the runway heading. Hey there Lisa, good afternoon. Good to see you again. Hope you're well. So on the left we see the first airplane approach. It is an Embraer 190 from KLM, flight 1781, outbound to Hamburg in Germany. The airplane is 5 years old and had its first flight in February 2018. Behind it is a 777 outbound to Sao Paulo. 777-300 ER, 8 years old, first flight February 2015, KLM flight 791. And here is the Embraer. Okay, so the 777 is gradually moving towards the runway threshold, and before it is going to depart, KLM flight 1281, Boeing 737-800, outbound to Edinburgh, 4 years old, first flight March 2019. And in the meantime, I see that Paul just became a member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Paul, and thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. You now have access to all the emojis that we have for members. DHL Banana, Nintendo Duck Hunt Dog, amongst others. Let's quickly turn around. And it's 41C in the hot tub, says Jerry. 5 degrees C for the beer. That's an excellent way to unwind. 41 degrees. Isn't that a bit cold to be in the hot tub? I don't know exactly. Body temperature is 37 degrees C. Then again, if it's really warm outside, you don't want the water to be too warm. Okay, so 777-300 ER underway to Sao Paulo. Now don't tell me that didn't sound like music to your ears. And as Andreas was already saying, next up TUI fly Dreamliner to Curaçao. There we go. So TUI flight 355, Boeing 7878 Dreamliner outbound to Willemstad, Curaçao. The airplane 8 years old, first flight March 2015. And yes, Evan, I did try replaying the streams on TV. It does look a bit different than when I'm looking on the laptop. But I wasn't too disappointed about the quality. But it's different. I think it has to do with the color settings or something. Well, no time to waste. Normally speaking, with good visibility, it's always nice to follow the airplanes a bit, but there is another heavy ready to go. Lined up is KLM flight 677. It is a 777-200 outbound to Calgary in Canada. The airplane we're about to see is 19 years old, first flight October 2003. Wow, is it 20C already in Portland, Jerry? That is quite warm considering that it's still way early in the day over there. By the way, Jerry and Evan, as West Coast inhabitants, are you guys now early risers or are you still night owling? Because it is, what is it, 9 hours time difference? So it's What is it? 5:30? And this 222 we cannot follow too long. Because the next triple is already ready to line up. It is KLM flight 757 outbound Panama City 777-300 ER, 10 years old, first flight May 2013. And Evan is night owling. How about you, Jerry? And Paul says Silkway 747 on its way out. That's the spirit, Jerry. Get up and sleep as you like. More people should do that, even if they're not retired. So has my voiceover volume stabilized somewhat? I don't know what it is. I think I did fiddle a bit with the connection, the wire connection between the receiver and the switcher. That's the only thing I can think of that might be faulty. Alright, sounds good, normal, excellent. Well, moral of the story, don't touch the wires anymore. It's the only wired connection, the receiver to the switcher. The rest is wireless. Thank you so much, Evan, for another super sticker, a red box of popcorn. Well, hopefully the popcorn tastes good with all these heavies that we have seen in the last couple of minutes. Next, a few narrow bodies. First up, a 737-800 from KLM outbound to London Heathrow, and there is an Embraer 175 by the looks of it behind it, outbound to Luxembourg. Not a very long flight. And Paul, I thought you were already a member, so welcome again once more to the Aurora Skylines then. I'm a bit confused about that message, but you're welcome nonetheless. Remember. Thanks for the explanation, Kuni. I'm not the most informed about stuff like this. I'll be the first to admit that. All right. Embraer 175 outbound Luxembourg, short flight, small airplane. Probably not going to have a long, probably won't be needing a lot of runway length. And indeed it didn't. Hey there, JJH. Hi. Well, Kuni says he can hear the polderbound bird. And Lance was even once engaged to a polderbound bird. The puns are strong in the group. Jerry disgusting. Drop the popcorn into the hot tub, so I guess it is okay to pee now. Next up, Embraer 190 outbound Göteborg. Evan, absolutely right. The smaller planes can also make beautiful sounds. It's not necessarily the big birds that make nice noises. But speaking of big birds, I see a Delta A350 that seems to be underway to the runway threshold. And I celebrate that with you, Paul. 1 month of membership. Thank you so much. And also thank you for moderating. Insofar as that is necessary. The crowd of AMS Live, often very well behaved. Although occasionally somebody may pee in the bathtub, but we'll disregard that. Hey, Lars is going to be flying in a few minutes with the EasyJet to Manchester. Well, Manchester lies to the west, so it's very likely that you are going to go take off from the runway in front of us. Do you have a seat on the left hand side? Then we'll be able to wave to each other. magnificent. The A350 has it all. Great engine sound, great aesthetics. Absolutely beautiful machine. Alright, Evan, you take that double shot of tequila on my behalf as well. 1 week and what is it, 2 more days, 2.5 days to go. Then I'm done with my final mini cut diet, and I will also be able to indulge in things like tequila and popcorn again. In the meantime, Kampask also checking in. Good afternoon, welcome. Hope you're doing well. There's a crowd of airplanes forming if I look at flight radar in the distance. Seems to be narrow bodies exclusively. At the moment, lined up is our favorite chocolate cake livery German Airways Embraer 190 for its short flight to Düsseldorf. And Robert asks what the black smoke was after the Delta takeoff. If that was coming from the wheels, it is brake dust. The wheels spinning as the airplane takes off, and they always get slowed down to a halt before being fully retracted. And that often releases a puff of what looks like smoke, but is actually brake dust. Stop the wheels from spinning when they get retracted. Hey there, Cafe Spotter, good morning to you. And Kuni says that the Silk 747 is still not taxiing. That means we'll still have to make do with what we can see over here. Yeah, Evan, you don't want to wake up everybody who is still sound asleep at the moment. Even if it does mean having to lower the volume on beautiful engine noises. Sometimes you gotta make a sacrifice, you know. Pegasus Neo also underway now. Next up, an Embraer 190 from EasyJet going to Edinburgh. 11 years old this airplane, first flight June 2011. Hey there Rick and hey there Kathleen, good to see you both. Hope you both are doing well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome all other viewers as well. If you have joined us in the meantime, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy and this is the Polderbaan. Currently one of the 2 runways in use for departures, although it is said that later during the day it's going to be exclusively this runway for departures again. Moment it is approximately 16 degrees centigrade or 62 degrees Fahrenheit. There's wind blowing from the northeast. If I show you guys the big picture, this is the north. You can see the waves in the water. This is to the northeast. Where is the... Oh, there it is. It was in the central field after all. Smoke from the chimneys blowing towards us. Looks like it's opening up just a little bit. This is the east, this is the south, where the next airplane is already approaching. And in the distance we see a 777, if I'm not mistaken. 777-200 to New York JFK, but first, Welling. Welling, Neo. Hey there, Brian, checking in from Toronto. Welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Also still quite early over there in Toronto, isn't it? What's the time difference? 7 hours? 6? At the lineup at the moment, KLM flight 641, 777-200, ER outbound to New York JFK. The airplane is 19 years old. First flight was in March 2004. No time to waste, it is already going. Bird controller in the foreground. Never gets old, those GE90s. Six-hour time difference with Toronto, Brian says. Hey there, good afternoon, Travel with Mark F. It is indeed a fantastic Friday to be sharing. Now, what do we have next? 737 from Transavia going to Ibiza. 5 years old, March 2018, first flight. Hey there, photo for you, good afternoon. Good to see you again, mate. Hope you're doing well. On a sunny, albeit somewhat windy afternoon. Now, Don't know if the wind is increasing as we speak. It surely isn't slowing down, that I can tell you. I'm happy that the sun is starting to get out a little bit more, because I'm actually here in my t-shirt and shorts, because it was said that it was going to be 20 degrees. But I have a little bit of goosebumps at the moment still. I did fully wrap myself, or what's the right word? I fully rubbed myself in with sunscreen. Don't want to make the same mistake I made last Saturday, being out in the sun for 4 hours without any sunscreen on. Came home and my arms were somewhat reminiscent of Red Lobster. So it does seem that the sun is starting to come out a bit more, although if I look to the clouds beyond the tower over here, that is a bit indicative of rain showers, or at least they could potentially evolve into rain showers, possibly even thunderstorms. So, and they did warn for thunderstorms or at least rain showers later in the afternoon, so it's something to be aware of. Unfortunately, the Netherlands is still not out of the woods when it comes to atmospheric instability. Well, and those of you who saw yesterday's stream know what the weather was like yesterday morning over here. I had to hurry back to my car after quickly wrapping everything in. And I was happy that I also brought an umbrella along that I could put over my backpacks where I have my camera, etc. in, so that it at least didn't get soaking wet. So here's the Norwegian red nose with the picture of Sonja something on the back. Insofar as you can show that when an object is moving by you so quickly. Now, at the moment there is an Embraer 190 lined up, and there is a 777 coming towards the runway threshold. Now this is an Embraer that is going to Brussels, so by the time it has left the ground, they already need to prepare for arrival again. Figure skater Sonja Henie was on the back of the Norwegian, says Wendy. And here's the 777 going to Rio de Janeiro. KLM flight 705 777-200, 17 years old, first flight February 2006. Kathleen says that in upstate New York it's up to 30 degrees Celsius. Wow. Possible heat record heat for the time of year, or in general. Surely it must have been warmer than 30 degrees C over there, somewhere later in the year. And A330 up next, says Kathleen. And indeed it is so don't get confused, it is an A330, but it is KLM flight 767. Alright, time of year. The 777 A330 that we are about to see is 11 years old, is going to Oranjestad, Aruba, and had its first flight in February 2012. Out a little bit. Well, still no clue what will be the next airplane after this. No new planes in the immediate vicinity, but that's just a matter of time. Quick sip of coffee. Then back to the camera it is. So this airplane now takes off in northerly direction. I've said it before a couple of times, but maybe new viewers are new to this. Has to go to the west, across the Atlantic, so it first needs to go to either Ireland or Scotland or somewhere in that vicinity to enter the North Atlantic tracks. That's what they most typically do. At least they have to take a left turn, which is what they are going to do when they reach the North Sea Canal. That is a little canal just to the north of Schiphol Airport. and that is where not a lot of people are living, so they basically follow that water to the North Sea, and after that, depending on if they need to go to the south or to the north, head that way over the North Sea. Hey there, Cynthia, good morning, tuning in from Brazil. Where it is still, what is it, 6 hours earlier probably, or is it 7? What's the time difference between continental Europe and Brazil? 6, I think, 6 hours. So yeah, the next airplane, as Kathleen already said, is going to be an Embraer 175 to Montpellier in France. Let me take this moment to have a look on the weather radar. Are there any showers forming already? Doesn't seem to be the case, so that's good news. Let us then go back to the live chat. And RBLX Wildero asks, what's your favorite airline? Well, that has to be KLM, I think. The chauvinist in me will probably say so. I do like other airplanes as well, but airliners, I don't specifically have a big preference or anything. I mean, obviously KLM just has an enormous heritage, being one of the oldest, if not the oldest airline company in the world. Is it necessarily the best? Probably not. Likely not. But it's a brand with history. That is of course something you don't see very often, and I think you should cherish. Meantime, a lot of people are also checking in the live chat. Do feel free to participate in the chat if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing. Also consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure that you turn on notifications so that whenever I go live you receive a notification. Martin Calafate says, greetings from Argentina, nice shoots. Thank you so much, my friend, and welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy. Do participate in the chat. And also, Japanese Symbols says hi from Japan. Konnichiwa. I wish I knew how to read Japanese so I could pronounce your name correctly, but konnichiwa and welcome. Judith, goedemiddag, checking in from Deventer. Is it still sunny over there in Deventer? And RBLX asks, which runway are you at? This would be the Polderbaan, currently in use as runway 36 left. It is the westmost of the 3 north-south oriented runways. And Martin is a true fan of Qatar Airways. Movie Libby. Ah, is that your that's the name? That's your name in Japanese writing. Hey there, Fahad. Goedemiddag. Hope you're doing well. And Kathleen's favorite in the US is Delta, and for first class is it it's Emirates. Okay, Samil, it's been a pleasure to have you on the stream again. Take care for now. See you again soon. Judith says that there's a little bit of sun over there in Deventer. Same here. I had hoped that the sun would be out a bit more than it actually is. But hey, at least it's dry. That's better than it was yesterday. Or some of the days before. And indeed, Brian says that NLM is the old city hopper. City hoppers, which used to have 3 types of Fokker airplanes, 2 turbojets and 1 turboprop, Fokker 50, Fokker 70 and Fokker 100 airplanes. Unfortunately, days gone by. Now it's all Embraers, which are of course also very nice. I think that this is the next air traffic to depart from over here. Looking at flight radar, I don't see anything before it. So in the foreground is, what is it? EFW. Ah, okay. So it is British Airways, operated by Avion Express Malta, outbound to London Gatwick. And second is a Boeing 737-900 outbound to Helsinki in Finland. Now there's also a firefighter truck out there. Now it looks like the white airplane is going to take off first. Or is it? Ah, no, I was wrong. It is the KLM 737-900 that is going to take off first. So KLM flight 1169, Boeing 737-900 outbound to Helsinki, Finland. 21 years old. This airplane had its first flight in October 2001. And yeah, Kathleen, the difference between an O and an I in those words makes a tremendous difference in translation. Absolutely. Obviously a typo from Fahad, but if you put it through Google Translate, then you're thinking, what the is he talking about? I do hear some birds over here, but I don't see them. Here in the water, basically no birds. Yeah, only in the distance, really far away. Too far to zoom into properly. Arctic camouflage, most boring livery. I gather that you guys are not that big of a fan of white liveried airplanes. So this would be Aer Lingus outbound to Dublin. Hey Phil, good afternoon. Stephen, good afternoon. Good to see you guys again. Long time no see. Or at least I have the feeling that it's been a while. Hey Leen, goedemiddag. Welkom terug, goed dat je er weer bent. Welcome. So, another Delta A330 that we see in the distance. A330-300, Delta Airlines Flight 137, outbound to Detroit, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. That's Michigan, isn't it? Somehow, intuitively I say Michigan, but I'm not sure. Start wondering immediately after I said it. 50. And another A350 is following it. Second A350 of today's stream. China Southern Airlines outbound to Guangzhou, which I probably totally mispronounced. But first, Delta to Detroit. Also, taxiing this way is a Boeing 737 MAX 8 from Icelandair back home to Reykjavik. Indeed, Motor City, or at least that's what it was back when the automotive industry was still very much From what I understand, that these days the automotive industry is not so omnipresent anymore in Detroit as it used to be back in the heydays of when it was actually Motor City, right? So still Ford and General Motors are still there. Okay. Ik denk dat we wel moeten kunnen, Liewe. Seeing if we can capture the flight to Tunisia. Is it already active on flight radar? There is a chance, of course, that it's going to take off from 18 center. If it isn't, then it's easy because I will be around then still. If it's taking off from 18 center, I can only capture it from a distance. Okay, not yet active. Okay. Wow. If we can capture your son and girlfriend on camera, that's of course something I'll be happy to do. Shouldn't you be on board with them to Tunisia? So, this is looking to the north, this is looking to the east, this is looking to the south, this is looking to the west. Hey, I spy with my little eye. Quite hard to see when the sun is out to see what's on my camera screen, but this is one little coot. Nibbling on some grass alongside the canal. Hey there Lars, goedemiddag. How is life? Thank you for your kind words. And Barbs, good afternoon to you too. Good to see you. Great sounds, the water birds are used to this. I think they don't mind. Or they haven't found the way to the complaining box to complain about the sound from Schiphol yet. And no, Harry, it's not my dinner. Hey there, Alex, checking in from Palm Springs, California. A lot of West Coast folks today on today's stream. Oregon folks, California folks. Awesome. And Lucas is checking in from sunny Brazil. Good morning to you, Darren. Welcome to the stream, everybody. So it looks like one of the fire trucks is testing the lights. Or is there an actual situation over there? Don't see any airplanes over here. No smoke or anything like the fire earlier this week. Oh, totally forgot to answer your question, Jerry. You asked yesterday if I found out what was the cause of the fire. I never found out what it actually was, but I did notice that I did hear that it was an industrial fire in one of the companies over there. But what it was that was on fire, I don't know. It did produce a lot of smoke, at least, that's for sure. And it took a little while before eventually the emergency services were also notified. Hey Wilma, goedemiddag, good afternoon. How is life over there? Now, don't know what they are doing over there, the firefighters. I do know that there is no traffic coming this way right now. Well, it was in the Westport industrial area, Jerry. That is, depending on what you define as being the port, somewhat nearby. So there is, to the west of Amsterdam, if you look on the map, there is an industrial complex. Let me think, I think that if you follow the railroad between Haarlem and Amsterdam, you'll also pass through part of it. Now it's quite a wide area and there are a lot of companies, so where exactly it was, I don't know. And it does look, as Lucas is saying, that these firefighters might be doing some training. Seems very likely. It does seem that there is new traffic coming this way. It's just still out in the vicinity of the main platform area. A320neo from EasyJet to Manchester. Icelandair B767 to Reykjavik. Interesting that apparently there's so much demand for flights to and from Amsterdam and Reykjavik that they send both the MAX and the 767 relatively quickly behind each other. Okay, so I do see the next traffic in the distance. That would be the EasyJet A320neo. Now there's more underway. Now, well, Raisin Donnelly, have a good rinse and have a good sleep. If we don't see you later during the stream again, enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again soon. Be careful that you don't completely shrivel up in the bathtub. Now I'm also having a look to see if the flight Liwe requested me to follow is already active on Flight Radar. Unless I am mistaken, I don't see it yet. Now the EasyJet Neo is in the meantime getting closer to the runway. So A320neo on its way to Manchester. 3 years old, first flight June 2019. Now, 2 more planes are ready to go. One is already lined up. And that would be an Embraer 190 from KLM. KLM flight 1175 outbound to Trondheim. 13 years old, first flight March 2010. And indeed, Martin, Embraer, Brazilian manufacturer, main supplier of KLM Cityhopper. Alex has to go back to work. It's been a pleasure to have you around, Alex. Do come back at a later stage if you feel like it. You're always welcome over here. And enjoy the rest of your day, man. In the meantime, Kathleen is back at it again. You are so kind. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for gifting 10 memberships to new members. And all new members, welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you once again so much, Kathleen. Really amazing. Ryanair. Remember. Right, so next up looks like this Embraer 175. After that, Boeing 767 from Icelandair. Now, is the airplane of your girlfriend and your son already active, Liebe? I'm looking also towards the main platform area to see if I already see something, but I think I don't. Please also help me remind when, or alert me, notify me when the airplane is active on flight radar. Obviously don't want to miss it. Okay, still can't find it, says Liwe. So I'm not the only one. Which means they are probably just later than planned. Now, next up, Icelandair flight 501 back to Reykjavik. Icelandair Boeing 767-300 ER in the old livery, 22 years old, first flight August 2000. Okay, they are boarding. Okay, so then it might still take some time before they get pushed back and start taxiing. Okay, Kuni, nice to have you around again. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully we'll see each other again later during the weekend. And if not, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Really a rarity these days. 767s. Used to see them very often. Same of course with the 747s. They are getting rarer by the day, unfortunately. So it's always a treat to see one of them still take off or land when we're next to it. Now, looking at flight radar, at the moment no traffic in the vicinity. There is an Embraer E2 Embraer 195 that is about to take off from 36 Center. And Martin, I think we are all missing the 747. It is an airplane you don't see that often anymore these days. Very unfortunate. Although, a few streams back we had 3 or 4, I think 4. 3 classics and 1 800 in one stream. Okay, so rehearsal round. What do we see from departing traffic? 36 Center. In case Lewis' son and girlfriend will be taking off from that runway in a moment. So this is what we would approximately see and hear. So I really hope, Lieve, that they will be taking off from the Polderbaan, because we'll be much better able to see the airplane than when they take off from 18 Center, 36 Center. I hate those runways. I always keep mixing up 18 and 36 and left, right and center. Only on occasion do I say it correctly in one go. Has to be the most confusing part of Schiphol. That and the way they use the runways every now and then. Now, this is the taxiway back to the main platform area. Airplanes taking off from the Polderbaan should be arriving from there and move over the taxiway that is next to the tree line that you see. Unfortunately, at the moment, most of the traffic is taking off from 36 Center. Good day, Abdul Hamid, and good day, Mario Seibt. Good to see you again. Welcome. Cas Films checking in from hot and sunny Toronto. How hot is it already over there? And welcome, Cas Films. Or is it KAZ Films? Everybody is having warmth. We have wind. That is our thing. We have wind. Oh wow. That looks like a very steep departure. Okay, it's already leveling off a little bit, but I saw it from the corner of my eye taking off and it looked like it was almost climbing vertically. So I'm trying to see where we can see. I think through the tree line we should be able to see airplanes taking off. And in the meantime I see that one has already taken off. Yeah, that's a good tip, Wilma. Make a cheat sheet. I do have it in my mind. But I always have to think twice before saying the runway. It's on the forecast for Toronto today, Cas Film says is 30°C. Bit warmer than it is over here. Last time I checked it was 16 degrees centigrade over here. Might have warmed up a few degrees. Today's highs are set to be between 16 and 20 degrees C. We're expecting rain showers coming from the east later during the afternoon. At the moment, everything still looks clear, looking at the weather radar of the Netherlands, but if you look in the distance, and this is to the southeast, this is more to the south, you do see in the distance that there are some, I think they are cumulonimbus clouds, the ones that can evolve into rain showers and possibly even thunderstorms, that they are evolving. And they do take their time, don't they, Lieve? I don't see anything on flight radar yet. That is set to depart to Tunisia. Now I'm curious to see if the 777 that is now taxiing to the south next to runway 36 center, if it's going to take off from 36 center. I think it probably will, although it would be nice to see another triple coming this way. Now, the sky is a bit more open to the south, to the north. And this is where the wind is approximately coming from. The chimneys in Westport, Amsterdam. So there is crosswind from the right at the moment. And the triple to Dubai is indeed taking off from center. So this is the 777 to Dubai. Now it's probably going to make an almost 180 right-hand turn to go to the southeast, or maybe just go to the east first towards Arnhem, fly towards Dubai over Central Europe. So viewers, or passengers I should say, on the right hand side windows should have a nice view of Amsterdam city. Now I do have good news for the viewers over here. I see that there is a Dreamliner to Mexico City that has just passed the southern threshold of 36 center, which means that it is going to come this way in a moment. Well, a few moments. So Maurits, your hope will become reality, and Aniruddha confirming. So the trip, the 787 to Mexico City will be coming this way, and the question is, will we be able to see it? It has to come from the south, go up north, then make a left-hand turn, and then it's going to come across this, or over this path, where the tree line is. So according to my data, it should be coming closer to... I think that might be it. So it first has to go from right to left, then make a left-hand turn, and then it's going to come from left to right along the path where the trees are at. So it's still a bit out, but be patient, folks. More is underway. And thank you so much, Barbs, for your super chat. Always a top stream, she says. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Glad you guys are patient enough to stick out with me for the next traffic to arrive. Although Schiphol is a very busy airport, there are every now and then a few lulls in which it takes a bit longer for traffic to come. And next thing you know, it's all back-to-back action again. You never know. Sometimes you have to be a bit patient. Looks like our patience will be rewarded eventually. Now, Lieve, I'm looking around on flight radar on the platform area. I don't see anything just yet. Am I missing something, or are they still not visible on flight radar? And you're right, Kathleen. It is a little Embraer to Copenhagen that is also coming this way. It is an E2 Embraer 195 though, so you always have to be careful and first wait for them to actually go ahead with their takeoff. Same goes for Delta A330s. The last couple of weeks we haven't seen any issues with both airplane types. Okay, Liwe. Then it's not just me who isn't seeing anything yet. And Phil says that the Airbus A321 Pegasus due at 3:25 is delayed until 3:45. Okay. Still a long wait then for them. And Maurits says that there is also an Embraer coming to 36 left. Curious why, because it's going to Copenhagen. That is indeed a good question. You'd think that it wouldn't make much difference if it takes off from 36 center or from 36 left. Now there's also a 737 to Stockholm coming this way, so could be that they might close 36 center again in a few moments, or maybe they have already closed it, because I don't see any airplanes taxiing to the threshold except one that is now on the threshold to Bologna. So it could be that they are closing the runway again, maybe after 3 o'clock they change to a dual runway for arrivals and only use this runway for departures. Could be. And in anticipation of that they only let the Bologna airplane take off and then divert the rest towards us, which is good news because that means that it is going to pick up again. And that's also good news because then Lewis' girlfriend and son will be departing right in front of our faces, so we have the best view of them. Hey there, Peter P. Checking in from CBR. CBR. Cannot think of what it stands for. What's the abbreviation CBR standing for? Probably very obvious if I hear it or read it back, but at the moment, at the threshold, E2 Embraer 195, KLM City Hopper Flight 1131, 2-year-old airplane, on the move, Canberra, of course, yeah. Just finished my thermos of coffee, but I guess that the caffeine still has to kick in. So it is probably good evening then for you over there in Canberra, Peter. More abbreviations. Indeed, Richard. Centraal Bureau Rijvaardigheid is so the what's the English or American equivalent? Oh, my brain is letting me down this afternoon. Okay. Almost around the Zwanenburgbaan, TUI flight 605. Now let's have a look. Yeah, I have him. The Boeing Max 8. Okay, now let's closely have a look and see if it is going around the threshold or if it is. Looks like it's lining up. TUI flight 605. So unfortunately 36 center is still in use. DMV, exactly. That was what I was looking for. So CBR in the Netherlands is the DMV, the Dutch DMV. Okay, here they come, Liebe. So this is a special request for Lieve, whose son and girlfriend are on this airplane. Now it's a good thing that today visibility is good. Means you can follow the airplanes quite extensively. Alright, well, bon voyage to them. They've taken off safely. Just too bad that it wasn't really right in front of us. Now, it looks like there is a 747 coming this way, ladies and gentlemen. It is almost crazy to say it. And you're welcome, Lieve. Graag gedaan hoor. Really a pity that they didn't take off from the Polderbaan, but we made the best of it. So the first queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And in the meantime, thank you so much, Lieve. Who gifted 5 memberships to new members. Thank you so much, Lieve, and happy to see new members to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Welcome everybody. And Wilma has to go already. It's been a pleasure to have you around, Wilma. Take care for now. And see you again soon. Now, quickly back to the action. Before the Queen arrives. There seems to be no more traffic, so we can have a look and see how Her Majesty is coming this way. I think I see her already behind the trees. She will have to go further to the left, further up north basically, and a departure from runway center. Here is the Queen that is coming this way. We are awaiting a nice silver Silkway West Airlines Boeing 747-400 outbound to Oslo. She's 22 years old, had its first flight in September 2000. And Yillard says that the Suparna 747 has been pushed back. Suparnas are flying to China, and I believe that Suparna is allowed to go over Russian airspace, so it would seem logical. Well, no, it's basically they fly to the northeast towards Groningen and then towards Denmark, so that can take place from either runway. Then again, hey, you're welcome, Lieve. You're welcome. Probably still be here in 40 minutes or so, so probably see you in a minute. Now, you can argue that the 747 to Oslo is also, for that airplane, it doesn't matter which runway they take off from. So maybe the same goes for Suparna, and maybe they will choose to have both Queens come this way. That would be awesome. Now, if I'm not mistaken, later when the arrival peak is coming, they predicted that they would close 36 Center, just use the Polderbound for departures, and then open up 36 right, the Aalsmeerbaan, as a secondary runway for arrivals, together with the Kaagbaan. Hopefully they'll do that soon. That means that the other Queen, the Suparna Queen, will definitely come this way. Try refreshing the stream, Kathleen. Last time people reported having lagging connection. It helped when they reloaded the browser page. Hey there, Amy, good afternoon. And hey there, Laura, good afternoon. I wouldn't say that you're late in joining, but you are just in time to see the first Queen of the day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you care about your hearing, start putting in those earplugs already, because I think it might get a little loud in a few moments. I see a couple of heavies that are also underway, so this is not going to be the last heavy of the day. Hopefully it's also not the last Queen of the day. "22 years old. Hey there, Francois. Good afternoon, goeiedag. And Mark, it is a 400. You can also see, you can immediately recognize by the winglets. The 400 has winglets, the 800 has more curvy wingtips and also bigger engines. Well, one way to immediately tell if it's a 400 or an 800 is winglets. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing so far, do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure that you turn on notifications so that whenever I go live you receive a heads up and can join us for more action from the ever bustling Schiphol airport. Short flight, still needed a bit of runway length to take off, so maybe it is heavily loaded. And there might be a second queen underway. At the moment, as you guys can see, 36 Center is still open for business. Now, we are awaiting heavies. And Suparna is also on the move, Roadhog says. Indeed, fingers crossed that it's coming this way. We'll find out soon enough. First up is going to be an Airbus A320 from British Airways to London Heathrow. But after that we are going to see another Delta A330 to Boston. Also United Airlines 777-200 to San Francisco. Now there's also an SAS CRJ underway. Ooh! Coots! That was a very interesting... you guys heard it probably before I was able to show you guys on camera. Now you had that song Walking on Sunshine, but these guys were walking on the water. Sort of like Jesus, or at least allegedly, according to the Bible, but these guys were actually walking over the water. Just like that. Isn't there also a toad or something that can also, or gecko that can also run over the water? Anyway, first up, Speedbird, flight 435, Airbus A320, outbound London Heathrow. The airplane, 13 years old, first flight January 2010. Right, well, can't follow the airplanes too long. Eder Labono Mahi. And Azer Mercy as well. And Fishline, good afternoon, guys. Great of you to chip in. Do feel free to chime in the chat. Also, if you're still a lurker, don't be afraid. The people over here won't bite you. Friendly folk over here at AMS Live. Next up, Delta Airlines flight 257 outbound to Boston. A380-300. 16 years old, first flight April 2007. Okay, is the gear going to go up or does it need cooling first? Looks like it needs cooling first. Oh no, it is going up now. So it only needed minor cooling, probably then. Alright. No time to waste. United Airlines flight 969 is underway. 777-200 outbound San Francisco. 24 years old, first flight November 1998. Alright. What's the status on the 747? Hey. It's not going to the runway threshold, that's for sure. At least not to 18 center. 36 center. So my guess is that it's going to taxi up. That's what I'm hoping for at least. Or is it going to go to 09? Nah, can't be, can it? Hey, kijk mooien. Is that a dinosaur? A screaming dinosaur or something? What is that 747 doing? Anyway, back to what is happening over here. SAS flight 548 CRJ 900 long range, 7 years old, first flight March 2016, outbound to Copenhagen. And indeed, Arjan, fingers crossed. Although you would think that if it was coming this way, it would have gone to the left of the runway and not stay on the right side of the runway of 36 center. confusing. You would almost think that they are going to take runway 09 instead for the Suparna 747. Which I really hope they don't. They won't. Hey, de Gries. Yes, 15 meters away from me, also over here, checking out the traffic over here. And Arjan, Gillard says that everything is now leaving from the Polderbaan, so that means that the Queen is going to come this way. I sure hope so. Is it crossing? Oh yeah, it is crossing. Yay, that means that the second Queen is also coming this way, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is coming this way right now, which means it's going to get a bit more busy. Lufthansa A320 is coming up first. 737 from Transavia is also underway. And Matthijs also confirming that the Suparna is underway. There she is, behind the trees. This would be the Lufthansa A320 to Frankfurt. And indeed, Kathleen just taking a different route. But she had me frightened for a moment. Let me take this moment to rehydrate, even though I am still a bit chilly. You do lose a lot of fluid with the wind constantly blowing. So Suparna flight 87412, also a 5-digit flight number, just as EasyJet has. It's like reciting a phone number. Outbound to Nanjing, Boeing 747-400, still relatively young, 15 years old, first flight July 2007. Right behind it is a 737-800 to Venice from KLM. In the foreground, K4. One of the Schiphol scarecrows. Transavia 737-700 and the Lufthansa to Frankfurt already lined up, ready to go. So this would be Transavia flight 5641 to La Palma, 20 years old this airplane, first flight in 2003. Hey there Rina, hey there Visit Kenya. You guys are just in time to see the second queen of the day, Suparna Airlines 747-400, outbound to Nanjing in China. Looks like we have a shortcutter, KLM flight 1655, Boeing 737-800, outbound to Venice in Italia. 12 years old, first flight November 2010. Hey there Paul, hey there Jens. Just in time guys. Alright, so once again, Suparna Airlines outbound to Nanjing, Boeing 747-400, 15 years old, first flight July 2007. Now folks, if you guys are liking what you're seeing and you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future you receive a heads up and can join us once again if you are feeling like it and have the time for it. And it also helps me greatly to reach more people like you and me. We're also into aviation content such as this. Hope you guys can still hear me. That was loud. Still flying in the runway heading. And you're right, Dave, it never gets old. I fully agree. Wish they could do a retro day on Schiphol where only retro airplanes like 747s, 767s, MD-11s would land and take off. How awesome would that be? Hey Frank, goedemiddag. Were you just in time to see the departure? This is the second queen of the day. For those of you tuning in later, we also saw a Silkway West 747 take off earlier during the stream. Now, if you just tuned in, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boyd. This is the Polderbaan, runway 36 left, currently in use for departures. This is to the north, this is to the east, this is looking to the south. The next departing airplane already on the move. Neo from Vueling. Great to see the response on the Queen. Now, if you guys look, there might be some showers forming further south. It is also predicted later during the day. Rain showers were set to form land inward later during the afternoon. So far it has stayed dry over here. The sun actually starts to come out just a bit more. Wind is blowing from the northeast, so that would be approximately from over there. If you look to the chimneys in the distance, you can see that the smoke's blowing towards us. Now let's quickly go back to the runway action. This is the old livery from KLM. You can see by the nose it is a straight line. Between the white on the underside and the blue on the top side. It's a subtle difference, but the newest livery has curves. Now, for the time being, a few narrow bodies, two more. First, Transavia 737-800 outbound to Tel Aviv, KLM flight 5801. The airplane 11 years old, first flight April 2012. Next up, another 737-800. This time round it is KLM flight 1189 going to Bergen. The airplane is 15 years old and had its first flight in March 2008. You can see, if you look to the beginning, the nose of the airplane, curves versus straight line. It's a subtle difference. Alright, now more traffic is underway. Let's see. Just trying to see. Well, Greece, it's definitely a place where a lot of cargo 747s are taking off and landing on, but I think Anchorage would Anchorage would be the world #1 place where you would see 747s and MD-11s as well the most. As a major cargo hub. Definitely a place I once want to visit again. Well, again. I want to visit it. Now, in the meantime, we have another duck that's happy to show its behind to us. I have to say, the reflection of the sunlight on its face gives a green sheen, at least on my screen over here. Very pretty. I don't see any lady ducks at the moment. I do see a coot a bit further out. Only this gentleman duck. And I was also having a look on flight radar. And as Arjan is already saying, there is an A380 underway. The daily flight back to Dubai, Emirates A388 Super. Now this looks to be an EasyJet, which is probably the EasyJet A320 to Milan, coming this way. Now we're awaiting the daily Emirates A380 Super. By the looks of it, a standard Emirates livery. It is live now on flight radar. And good morning, Willem Lenteren. So, don't see the A380 move just yet. Let me take this moment to have a look on the weather radar. See what the current status is. So even though the clouds in the distance look a bit more threatening than they did earlier during the afternoon, at least according to the weather radar, it should still be dry for now. Although if I swipe left and right and speed up the animation, you do see that there are already some showers forming in the east of the country towards the border with Germany. They will probably grow bigger in the upcoming hours, but I think unless new showers will form more to the west, we are going to stay dry for a while. I do hope that the sun will not be obscured by thickening clouds, because then I think I am going to get somewhat cold with just shorts and a t-shirt on, particularly with the wind continuously. Photo for you says that it is around 5:30 that we are up here at the Polderbaan. And Greece asks the prognosis for the Emirates. Well, let me have a look on the app. There's this app called Baangebruik, and it shows you the current runway usage. And you can also have a look on the, let me go to my computer. If you guys go to this website, it is Air Traffic Control Netherlands, and on the homepage you can scroll down a little bit and you can see the active runway usage. There's also an app called Baangebruik that also shows the same. I have it on my split screen now, and it shows that the Polderbaan is currently the only runway in use for departures. So the Greece and all other viewers, this might be handy for you guys. So if all is well, we should be seeing the A380 depart from this runway over here. Look at what is on the move. So the King is crossing the center runway. Hey there, Amiman Travels, good afternoon and good day to Dot Brownlow as well. You guys are in time for the Emirates A380 Super. Hey there, Albert, good afternoon. Also, nicely timed. For those of you interested but aren't Dutch, hey. Awesome. Rick. Hey man. Ja goed, dus met jou? Leuk man. Net op tijd. We gaan de A380 hier zien. Hij komt eraan. Mooi man. So Rick Meester is also here, ladies and gentlemen. Finally. Exactly. So there's a whole crowd. The Greece plane spotting is also over there. So everybody is just in time for the departure of the Emirates A380. Now I'm happy that the sun is starting to get out a little bit because it was getting a little bit chilly. Although I am still red from my last Saturday that I was standing here. Yeah, I was standing here last Saturday with no sunscreen on for 4 hours, and with the wind it was nice and cold, but... You turned into a lobster. Exactly, red lobster. And I'm a vegetarian, so go figure. So the Emirates A380 coming this way. It is the first plane to arrive on the scene. There is no other traffic before it. We are seeing an A320neo to Lisbon from EasyJet that is coming behind it. Let me see if we can see it as well. Maybe it is just behind the... No, I thought it was visible maybe, but... Oh wait, it is becoming visible just now. And Liewe is also back, just in time. Well timed. You did miss the second queen of the day. But as usual, I will timestamp all these highlights once I get home, so looking it back is easy. Let's quickly go back to the highlight that is coming this way. Now, no special livery today, a regular Emirates A380. Back to Dubai, flight 148. This airplane, 7 years old, had its first flight in February 2016. I think most of the airplanes are from 2015 or 2016. In the meantime, good days to Sue and to fax-ridden Xamatov. And Ivan Barroso Melo also checking in from Carnaval Ceará. I totally mispronounced that probably. In Brazil. Now it does look a bit more threatening, even though the weather radar said that it was still going to stay dry. Looking to the south, I think those are clouds that might evolve into thunderstorms or at least rain showers. I do see some more coots over here in the field as well. There's one over here on land, and there is also one over here in the water. Or is that a grebe? Oh no, it's a grebe, I think. So they are coming out of hiding, at least. Back to the A380. Oh, well, it's a pity that I'm not standing on the other side of at the beginning of the runway, but because by the looks of it, the A380 is taking the entrance to the runway that I typically stand at when doing the departures from up close. So instead of going to the runway threshold, it takes the first entrance that isn't the runway threshold. Hey there, Missy Ghost, good afternoon. Just in time to see the big bird of the day, the biggest of them all, well, at least the tallest, I should say. Apartment building on wheels and on wings, taking to the sky. I have to say, it sounded a lot quieter over here passing by than the 747s did. I don't know if you guys noticed the same on the audio. The 747s definitely sounded louder. Now, if you guys are new to the channel and you're liking stuff like this, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications so that in the future you get notified whenever I go live again. Now, more traffic is coming this way. First up would be a Neo in the Neo livery, EasyJet flight 27962, outbound to Lisbon. Brand new airplane. Well, they say brand new, but it had its first flight last December. And that's a good question, Missy. Missy says, I saw on the internet they will rebuild the Antonov. Is that true? I don't know, but I would be curious to know. So if anybody out there knows, do let us know. Now, looking at flight radar, I can see that there's a 777 coming, an A330 coming. So we'll see a nice mixture of both heavies and narrow bodies. And Rick is confirming that they are going to rebuild the 225, the 225. Okay. So ergonomically not the best the best airplane to follow. Need to crouch a little to make sure I don't lose it out of sight when it passes over me just now, but makes it interesting. So next up, photo for you has to work again. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Hopefully we will see each other soon. Hey there, James 1. Good day to you. So, lining up at the moment is KLM flight 1217, Embraer 175, outbound to Oslo. 6 years old. First flight May 2016. You can see the big bird in the background coming next. Alright, so next up, KLM flight 589, 777-300ER, 14 years old, outbound to Accra. This might get loud, ladies and gentlemen. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to follow the airplanes because there is another big bird ready to go. In fact, it is already going. So A330-300 Outbound to Riyadh, 11 years old. No issues with retracting a gear, at least for this one. Right, let's have a look. So it seems that EasyJet A320neo to London Luton is going first. This airplane is 4 years old. First flight July 2018. After that we are going to see most likely Boeing 737-900 outbound to Munich. Now, back to the runway threshold it is. A few more narrow bodies first. I thought I saw a heavy approaching as well. Yeah, that would be a 777-200 to Shanghai by the looks of it. Thanks for the flight safety warning, Aviation Online. So, indeed, Laura, 7 planes coming this way. A few narrow bodies first. 777 as well. Looks like this is going to be the first airplane to take off. Transavia 737-800 outbound to Shania. If I somehow pronounce that somewhat correctly. do get the feeling that the wind is starting to subside a little bit over here, although not much. So next up, 777 time. KLM flight 895, 777-200, outbound to Shanghai, 16 years old, first flight January 2007. Rick says that there are 3 777s on their way. So, and I totally missed. I'm zoomed in too far in flight radar that I missed the departure of what was it? One of the many Embraers from KLM. And Dave Smith says that under the heading of useless trivia, the circumference of a 777 engine is the same as a 737. So the fuselage he means. Now recently we had a discussion about which engine has the biggest engine to fuselage ratio. Will it be the 777 or will it be the E2 Embraer 195? It's probably going to be the E2 Embraer 195. But yeah, if you look at the massive size of these engines, so there you go. If you ever need to repair a bit of fuselage of a 737, just source a 777 engine. You can use that instead. Now if you compare how small that little Embraer looks compared to what we saw on the runway just now. Now the second of the 3 777s is also approaching. Zooming out a little bit to show you guys somewhat the bigger picture. So at the runway threshold is KLM flight 1519. It is an Embraer 175 outbound to Norwich, 5 years old, first flight February 2018. Now Gremlin says that there's a Falcon D that will land in moments on the Buitenvelderbaan. Assuming it is going to arrive. Is it going to arrive from but it's probably going to arrive from the east, isn't it? Which would be weird. The wind is also blowing from the east. Are you sure it's not going to land on the polder of on the Kaagbaan? That's probably the new airplane that our defense ministry has bought. We have the PHGOV, that is the business 737. And there is the Falcon, I think, which is used for military purposes, or at least I think our defense minister and higher ups in the military can use it. Alright. Now it looks like Transavia is going to creep ahead before the triple. Quickly back because there is a 777 already lined up, ready to go, and it doesn't have to wait long for the wake turbulence of such a small airplane to dissipate. So this would be KLM flight 681 outbound to Vancouver, 777-300 ER, 6 years old, first flight January 2017. No, I didn't ever fall over when turning the camera. My tripod did fall over once, which is why I have since safely secured it with tent wires. Also helps to stabilize when it isn't windy, just because you like to. At least I personally like turning around the camera when there is also drag on the tripod, and if the drag is too much. Tripod isn't secured, then you're going to pull over the tripod. I've had that happen to me a couple of times in the beginning with my previous tripod. I was pulling too hard on the camera, and then my tripod and camera started tipping over together. You hold the camera tight with two hands, so you're always sort of balanced. Now, time for another 777, ladies and gentlemen. This one is KLM flight 735 outbound to Willemstad in Curaçao, 8 years old, first flight to March 2015. And another 777-300 ER. It never grows old, that sound. Really never does. Hey there, Miss Wolves, good afternoon. Good to see you again. You probably missed two queens, and were you in time already to see the A380, or have you missed it? Well, either way, we have had two queens today and also one king. I will timestamp everything once I get home after I'm done streaming. For now, we are awaiting the departure of Royal Jordanian flight 152 A320 outbound to Amman. 10 years old, this airplane, first flight October 2012. And in the meantime, welcome Dustin Jackson to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you for your support and welcome to AMS Live membership, the Aurora Sky Lounge. Look at this airplane. Back when I was little and I saw the Royal Jordanian airplanes for the first time, I thought it was like a royal couple that was visiting maybe, but I later learned that it was just the Jordanian national airliner. Now I think we are going to see the first Airbus A220 of the day. Don't recall having seen any A220s in the stream, in today's stream at least, before. Swiss Air, flight 729, outbound to Zurich. The airplane 4 years old, first flight November 2018. And yeah, underway already. No time to waste. Beautiful. Now, it looks like another 777 is coming this way. Where is it? There we go. There's a TUI Boeing 737 MAX 8 leading the way. After that, we are going to see a 777 that seems to have stopped. Oh no, it is just taxiing slowly, or it has begun taxiing again. EasyJet A319 behind it. So, first up, this MAX 8. TUI flight 807 outbound to Paphos. Airplane 1 year old, first flight June 2021. Taking a lot of runway length. Interesting. Hey there, DVHB27. Good day to you. Good to see you again. So now we are waiting for the 777 But it seems that there is an EasyJet A319 that is going to go ahead in front of it. EasyJet flight 22180, Airbus A319 outbound to Manchester, 14 years old, first flight April 2009. Right, gear is up. Hey there, Enrique, who is checking in from Guadalajara in Mexico, where it is 8 hours earlier. 9? 8 probably. Hey, salut Jean-Yves, comment ça va? You missed two Queens and the A380 if you just tuned in. However, just in time for this 777 to Shanghai. One of the many we have seen so far this afternoon. And Enrique says it's 8:20 a.m. so that is an 8-hour time difference then. Guadalajara. What's the temperature over there in Guadalajara, by the way? Probably a bit warmer than it is over here. Hey there, Alexis. Wat een bulk. Absoluut. And I thought I read back as well. What a belly. That's just what us Dutchies do. We read stuff into everything. Now, a few narrow bodies are coming up next. Let me see. Looks like there's also a 777 to Beijing taxiing this way from KLM. Just checking to see what else is coming. Hey there, Vijasagar. That's probably how you should pronounce it. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Miss Wolves 13 says 300 likes. Okay, nice. Thank you so much, my people, for supporting today's stream. Oh no. No. Seems that 36 Center is in use again. You guys are probably hearing it as well. Triple 7-200 to Beijing is flying over there. KLM 737 just took off from the Polderbaan. Bit disappointing. I really had hoped that we would see another 777 take off from over here, but it wasn't meant to be. Hey, there's Sierra Bravo TV, who is enjoying the stream. Excellent. And Vija Sagar confirming that that it is indeed the correct way to pronounce his name. I'm very happy about that, because sometimes I am afraid that I am totally mispronouncing people's names and they get really cross about it. Now, 2 Dreamliners underway, says Rick. Hopefully they will come to this runway. That's always the question over here. You never know for sure. Seen it with the A380 a couple of times already, that they directed it to a different runway than where we were standing at. First up is this Airbus A319 EasyJet outbound London Gatwick. 16 years old. First flight May 2007. And Olena says that our 2-year-old is enjoying your stream as well. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. My pleasure. And Olena is checking in from NYC. Excellent. Good morning. No, still morning there. Good morning. Now, finally, the sun is starting to come out a little bit over here. So if you guys just tuned in, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is runway 36 left, the Polderbaan. Currently, again, one of the 2 runways in use for departures. Earlier it was only this runway, but at the moment both 36 left and 36 center are in use for departures. At the moment we are awaiting the next airplane to take off from 36 left. Always have to think twice before saying the name. We have 3 runways over here at Schiphol Airport that are north-south oriented. So you have 3 runways that have 36 or 18 in their name, left, right and center. And you always have to think which one is which. Now the wind is blowing from the northeast, which is over there. Sky looks pretty quiet. Looking in that direction. This is to the north. The airplanes are taking off to the north at the moment. This is the east. also where the wind on the higher levels is blowing from. Now looking to the southeast, you can see a bit more cloud formation in the distance, more land inward. It is said that later during the day rain showers were forming, possibly even with thunderstorms locally. So far we haven't seen any of it. In fact, the sun is starting to come out from behind the clouds a little bit, which I'm very happy about, because I've been standing here in the wind in my t-shirt and shorts with goosebumps still a bit. So this is to the south, and if Rick can move to his left a few meters, unless he wants to be on camera, then I can show you guys the west as well for a brief moment. Thank you so much.
Nothing to hide.
Yeah, so this is looking to the west, to the sea. Now if you guys can see, that's the current weather situation. Temperature is about 16 degrees centigrade or 62 degrees Fahrenheit. The highs were set to be between 16 and 20 C, so that's between 62 and 70 Fahrenheit approximately. Hey there Al Chapelle, hey there Mol, good afternoon to you guys. Now, this runway is still in use. At the moment, we see the next airplane, an E2 Embraer 195 from KLM, ready to take off, outbound to Aberdeen. KLM flight 1449. The airplane that we see is 2 years old, had its first flight in March 2021. Talking about relatively big engine size, have a look at these two engines. Now compared with that other airplane that also has geared turbofan engines, the A220, I think that the E2 Embraer 195 is definitely the quietest of the two. Or this particular one took off with more derated RPM than the Swiss did. And Joel asks if I'm waiting for the Air China A330-200. When is it expected to take off? And Gary Crowson says good afternoon from Stansted. Good afternoon to you too, Gary. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Now, looking at flight radar, it seems a bit empty. I do see a lot of airplanes on the main platform area, but looking in the direction of the runways, it seems empty. There is a Saudia Dreamliner on the move, but that's to Jeddah, and if 36 Center is also open, it's very likely that it's going to take off from that. Okay, and Joel says that the estimated time of departure is 10 to 6. That is going to be too late for me. I still have some hope of going to the gym tonight, but I am definitely not going to stick around for so long any longer. In fact, let me just see what so there's a LATAM Cargo 767 to Frankfurt that is active on flight radar, but yeah, that's also a candidate for .36 Center. Green Tea God 666 says hello from Sao Paulo. Good morning, Green Tea God. Nice name. Now, will the Saudia Dreamliner take a left-hand turn or a right-hand turn? If it goes to the right, it's coming towards us. If it's going to the left, it's going to take off from 36 Center, I think. Let's zoom in a little bit. There isn't a whole lot to see in terms of traffic coming this way yet. Unfortunately. Okay, yeah. The Saudia might also be coming this way. If it's not going to the runway threshold, then it's going to go south of the threshold, but I don't think it is. Meanwhile, we saw a gentleman duck just touch down. Nice flare. Wasn't in time to show you guys, but he is still all by himself. And we also see K4 in the distance quickly and with his lights on. So I'm wondering if maybe they are doing a patrol round to see that there aren't any birds in the vicinity. If that's the case, then temporarily all traffic will be taking off from 36 Center. They do have a nice job though, driving around at high speeds in between the airplanes, setting off fireworks, sound effects. Can definitely think of worse things to do during the day. And Bjorn says KLM to Gdansk seems to go your direction. Absolutely, there is traffic coming this way. The question is, will there also be some heavies coming this way? Peter and Rod both confirming a mallard duck that we saw just now. And I totally agree, Sarah Jane. Technology is wonderful. It brings people together from around the globe. Particularly during live streams like this. You see that people from across the world are checking in. Carmen Paulo checking in from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Also a lot of people from South America finding this stream excellent, really nice. Welcome everyone, and do feel free to interact in the chat even if you don't speak English very well. Don't be afraid, the people over here don't bite. Now I think that is the next airplane to come this way. It is the Embraer. It says question mark over here, but it's probably the one to Gdansk. And Vija Sagar has to go already. It was a pleasure to have you here. Hopefully see you again soon. Have a nice evening. And if we don't see each other, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Hey there, Tony, who is checking in from the UK. Welcome. When I do click on the airplane that says question mark on the map, it does say that it is going to Gdansk in Poland. Is it a 2-hour flight or so? So this is KLM flight 1921, an Embraer 190 to Gdansk. Airplane is 9 years old. First flight February 2014. And another person checking in from Japan. Unfortunately, I don't know how to pronounce those characters, so I cannot call you by your name unless you write it in our alphabet. But welcome nonetheless. Terrific that people from Japan are also finding this stream. Really want to go back to Japan again. I've been there. I visited Tokyo for a week in 2016 or 17. I had a blast. It was wonderful. Japanese people, I think, are the friendliest people on earth. Really, if you ever are thinking about where you should go to on holiday and you don't know where to go to Japan. In the meantime, afternoon to Airport Holland and howdy doody. Good day. So a couple of more Embraers coming up. And is it Raid or Radi? Fukojevic is checking in from LA. Good morning, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. And tell me, how do I pronounce your name? Is it Raid or Radi? Something different? Hey, Wilma. Wilma is back. Good to see you again. Everybody keeps saying hello HWA, but it is Wilma. You can just call her Wilma. She said so herself. And Dennis has bad news. His flight to Curacao tomorrow has been moved to later this year. Okay. So instead, next Friday he will be flying to Bonaire for another 1.5 weeks. Still not too bad. I mean, it's too far to swim from one island to the other, but the weather should probably be similar. That's the silver lining then. Always try to look at it from a positive point of view. I thought that the wind maybe was starting to subside, but doesn't feel that way. Looking in the water, looking at the waves, still a bit windy. Not a full-blown storm. Now the Malak duck has found a place higher up to do a bit of washing and sunbathing. Very prudent. Now 36 Center is also still open. In the meantime, there is another Embraer coming this way. Might be European rush hour again, so that means a lot of Embraers. the meantime, more viewers. Daniel is checking in from Budapest. Kutut Kembar Adnaya is checking in from Bali. Good evening to you, Dan. Gary is checking in from Luxembourg. Congratulations to a great live stream, he says. Thank you so much, my friend. It's you guys who make it a great stream, so thank you all for tuning in and also chiming in the chat. If you guys are watching but not participating, it's much less fun than when people are chatting in the live chat. So thank you all for making this a great live stream. It's not just me, it's everybody here who is interacting with each other that makes it great. Next up, we are going to see an Embraer 190 BA City Flyer outbound to London City. Already on the go. I was checking to see what more is coming this way. I do see a 777 on flight radar from Emirates Sky Cargo to Frankfurt. Now LATAM Cargo is also going to Frankfurt. There's another Embraer 190 to London City from KLM that is taxiing this way. Now unfortunately Dennis has to go to Bonaire for business. I wouldn't be feeling too sorry if I had to go to Bonaire for business. What kind of job do you need to where can I sign to have a job where you can go to business to Bonaire? Actually, come to think of it, that sounds like quite a nice job. So Lobbertje also says goedemiddag allemaal. I say good afternoon to you too, Lobbertje. Welkom. Hoop dat alles goed is. Michael Painter also checking in. Good day. Ryanos asks which runway. The runway we are standing at, runway 36 left, the Polderbaan. And here we see another bird control vehicle coming this way. Looks like the, what is it, Ford Ranger if I recall correctly? Or is this a different type? Might be a different type. No, this is something else. K4, what is it? I'm really not that skilled in my knowledge of pickup trucks. Some of them are Ford Rangers, some of them are VWs, but now let's have a look. Don't see anything visually yet. Let's zoom in then to where airplanes are coming from if they are underway. I do think I see something there. I see a tail. So something is coming. That must be the KLM Embraer 190 to London City then. Peter says Ford F150. DVHB says bird control, bird check. So unfortunately the LATAM Cargo, wow, taking off again, very steep climb. LATAM Cargo to Frankfurt, already airborne and quite high up already. Impressive how quickly they can climb. Probably not fully loaded and also not too much fuel on board. Frankfurt, of course, relatively close by. Now, here is our next airplane, the Embraer 190 to London City. Okay, so Dennis is a software engineer for building automation. Apparently you guys probably have some projects over there that you need to go there. Definitely not too bad, even if it is for business. Now, Blue Sky Live Aviation also says good afternoon everyone. Hello there, good to see you. Wilma happy about being able to use the KLM logo in the live chat. Yeah, there are so many emojis that you can use now. Okay, so again, a lot of traffic underway over here. Looking at what is coming, it is mostly narrow bodies still. That is a bit disappointing. Alright, now let's have a look. This is where the traffic should be arriving from. Several airplanes underway. A319 British Airways outbound to London Heathrow first. 737 from KLM to Newcastle, also coming this way. Embraer 175 also underway. Unfortunately, I don't see any heavies in the immediate vicinity. The Emirates 777 to Frankfurt, is it moving? I think it is still parked. So yeah, a bit disappointing. Now, considering that I've also been streaming now for almost 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think after the 3 airplanes that are now approaching, I am going to wrap it up for today. It's been a pleasant afternoon so far. The weekend has only just begun. So these 3 planes now in view will be the last airplanes for me to show you guys. After that, I am going to wrap it up. To go out again tomorrow. I think the weather prediction for the weekend was supposed to be relatively good. Temperatures up to 20 degrees centigrade, a bit warmer than today even. Mostly dry, so we should be in for a couple of days of nice streaming weather at least. Hey there, George, if I pronounce that correctly, who is from Brazil. Says live, very cool. Thank you for being here. And welcome to AMS Live. The one more plane, Peter says. Well, 3 more for you guys. But after that, I am going to wrap it up. Let's see which one is going to go first. Looks like the A319 will be going to the later exit or entrance. So this is Speedbird flight 439, Airbus A319, outbound London Heathrow. She's 22 years old. First flight March 2001. The KLM 737 on the left hand side is probably going to go second. So going ahead of the other plane that is going to the runway threshold. Peter, the BA is going to London. Was it Heathrow, I think? Exactly, London Heathrow. And the KLM is already on the move. 737-700 to Newcastle. Okay. Took a little moment for them to realize that they had positive rate for the gear to go up. For a moment they had me thinking that they were also in need of some cooling before they could retract the landing gear. Last plane of the day, this Embraer KLM flight 1535, outbound to Darlington. The airplane is 6 years old, first flight September 2016. Oh, Richard says good morning from Mexico. Good morning to you too, Richard. Alright folks, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I want to thank each and every one of you again for joining me here. I've had a blast and I hope you guys did too. Looking to go out again tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. So hopefully I will see you during one of the next upcoming streams. If not, enjoy the weekend and hope to see you again soon. Thanks everyone who was so kind to give me donate super chats, super stickers, donate memberships. You guys rock and you guys are the best. Thank you all so much for your support. I really hope to see you again on the next one, and if not, then hopefully sometime soon. Be safe, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now, folks.